I hate
That's
it
really
here.
good. I think that's really good. I love
hate
that.
it
That's
here.
so good. So we got Quidd and Charles going up against IcyMist and PsychoMyko. We are actually going to be seeing the Rob coming up from Charles. And gotta say, Pokemon Trainer and Rob sounds like a menacing team to go up against.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. Because both of these teams, I feel like, are volatile, is the word that I would use. But the one thing is that, like, the double Samus are at least going to be able to swap formation pretty often. I think that the Pokemon Trainer versus Rob is going to be determined entirely by which Pokemon is out. That's going to tell you, like, how they're going to approach this.
We're showing right now just Charles trying his best to be able to make it back onto the stage here and actually getting past IcyMist there. I love Quidd's patience. Quidd is a player that definitely alternates between moving so much and then just standing in place and moving not at all. Because as soon as he finds that opening, man, he will explode you.
Trying to get back up onto the stage. PsychoMyko has been stuck there for quite a bit, just being boxed out by the gyro and then the laser. And now the Razor Leafs as well. What a combo!
I love the idea there. I like what Quidd was going for, but then both Quidd and Charles said, hey, we're going to end this combo at the same exact time. And then they just ended up hitting each other. Happened to the best of us.
Yeah, and was able to get the charge shot out there as well to close out the stock. The back throw from Quidd's not quite going to be enough. And good run-up smash from Charles to try and close out the stock. Great DI from Myko, though.
Just taking a second just to be able to slow it down. Charles just sort of letting Quidd do their own thing here, but you got to give your teammate a little bit of assist. Catching IcyMist on all of that startup and finally going to be taking her stock.
There's that Zombear, that raw back air coming through to be able to take out that stock at relatively low percent for Samus, to be honest. But speaking of low percent, you're not going to be able to survive through a spike like that.
Yeah, and the confidence with which, like, Mikey just went off, just said, hey, I know you're going to recover low. I'm just going to run off there preemptively. Going to be losing the stock. Samus does not have the best, like, aerial acceleration at all, so it's really difficult to, you know, even if this is something that wouldn't kill somebody of your weight class, it's difficult to change your drift in time.
Yeah, good Samus movement is incredibly tough to pull off well, and that's why you know when someone's a good Samus, because it's all movement-based.
Yep.
Looks for that high up air to close out the stock. Good use of the burner boost by Charles to escape that situation. Now they're back in neutral, looks for that raw berry yet again, and tries to catch IcyMist lacking with the gyro. Gets the up air instead, but it's still not enough to close it out.
I feel like this is still such an even set between the two. They're constantly exchanging positions. They're both just trying to find, like, their tempo, find their rhythm right now. I feel like we saw this happen in winner's side as well, where, like, IcyMist and PsychoMyko are just sometimes getting hit across the stage.
The problem here is going to be how long can Charles tank? And Quidd needs to save him. Okay, Quidd does indeed. But Charles, being the only player here who is on their final stock, needs to hold on to this for a really long time, or they're going to put both them, their teammate and themselves in a pretty bad situation by having to go for that restock.
Quidd was trying to set something up by going through the backfield, maybe just saying, hey, are you going to get me? And Charles did not actually get him. Finds a kill with the gyro nonetheless. Finds that one up air, and now you have to land against Ivysaur. That is tough, man.
That's unfortunate, but thankfully Quidd is able to hold on to the stock. IcyMist goes deep, trying for the KO, and might actually end up losing her life. She does get back up onto the stage, though. Very, very well played off stage by her.
The thing is, Quidd was in no position just to be throwing out a down air quite yet. IcyMist stalled as long as she could, and it definitely just ended up paying off. This is looking really difficult right now for Charles. He's going to have to pull a fast one, otherwise this is looking like a free game one for IcyMist and PsychoMyko.
Another stock still on Myko as well. They're just going to throw a ton of mines at the ledge and wait for Charles to be hit by one.
Well, in this case, they're teammates.
It works. Worked out. Now with a gyro in hand too. Honestly, if I was IcyMist here, she's not going to, but I would take the gyro and, like, leave. I would take myself out of this situation. And what were you going for there?
I'm not entirely sure, but at least it just didn't connect. That up B is more than enough to be able to take it out. IcyMist and PsychoMyko going to be finding game one for themselves.
I was thinking about it for a second there. I was like, you've got 2-on-1, and Rob really can't, like, make this comeback without gyro. So just pick up gyro and leave. Let your teammate do the 1v1 with against a gyroless Rob and see how well they can do.
A Rob without a gyro, don't even want to think about it. A sad picture.
It's a sad existence. It's like an Olimar without Pikmin. It's not quite that bad, but
Yeah. I was just trying to think of like the next cringy analogy to throw out, like a painter without a paintbrush. But you know, I don't go through low-hanging fruit like I do, like you do. Excuse me.
really, no,
Yeah.
no. I think you were right the first time.
It did slip out. Perhaps that was a bit of a Freudian slip.
The Freudian slip, acknowledging that it's your fault.
Man, I hate you.
I love it here. I'm having a great time, and I hope everyone in the chat is as well. As we get ready to go into our next game,
Yeah.
and we see the swap up to Snake come through from Charles.
This is going to be interesting. Honestly, just by virtue of, you know what? I have no idea how this is going to play out differently.
Snake in doubles is really good. I'm
Snake in
putting that
doubles
out
is
there
good,
ahead of time.
But so is Rob in doubles. You know, I feel like Rob, Charles are just not like getting like a lot of damage output and just sort of ended up being like tossed off stage really quickly, just being put into positions like where he couldn't do all that much.
Interesting use of the water gun there. Actually ends up sending Charles deeper than anything else. They try for the fair into up tilt combination. And I think one of the harder aspects of dealing with Snake in doubles, both as a teammate and as an opponent, there's so much going on your screen in doubles.
Yeah.
How are you going to keep track of C4?
You need to have 2 times the situational awareness and kill that you normally put in as Snake, so it's going to be difficult as the answer. Squirtle actually low profiling that. I love how Quidd just sat there and waited and knew like, hey, missile is going to go over me. I can keep on charging up my water gun without having anything to worry about.
And I think in this game, IcyMist has an 100% hit rate with charge shot on her teammate. She's hit, I think, Psycho with like 3 charge shots so far this game. Ooh, the up tilt comes through, but I think the charge shot might have saved her.
Yeah, the combined knockback angle actually sent at a more favorable position because then you could actually DI into the corner as opposed to just being shot directly upwards.
Tries to read the roll out of the down throw, does so unsuccessfully, so IcyMist is going to be able to hold on to the stock for a little bit longer. The up tilt comes through, but the high ceiling of Town and City does serve its purpose. She is going to be able to hold on a little bit more.
Can't even get away with pressing any buttons, but what a jump from the ledge. Wait, that ended up killing her teammate.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That was, I think she tried to time it for after the throw so she would at least get the revenge kill. Just ended up helping her teammate to the grave.
The option was cute. Okay, now we're back to completely even right about now. PsychoMyko going to be successfully fighting his way off of the ledge right about now, and you always got to make sure that you're DIing Samus up correctly. That move can kill you deceptively early if you don't.
I've seen people die at like 80 to it if they're not careful with it. We do see these two actually DIing it mostly correctly. And I do also really like how, I almost said Tequila, how Charles has been playing this so far, where they've been kind of serving as a stage hazard almost. Like Quidd is the one doing the front man work, and Charles is just hanging back, throwing grenades or throwing up tilts, waiting for like an enemy to end up running into him.
For sure. I like, by the way, how PsychoMyko and IcyMist are both like alternating who's covering jump, who's covering the ground. As a result, it has become really difficult for Quidd to actually find any ways to get in because all of his jumps are just being called out.
Yeah, Quidd now down onto their last stock, but they are going to be able to even it up with that back air, taking out Mikey. Comes through with the fair, but the up air actually does manage to find its connection. So this is where Psycho and Icy are so comfortable, but the C4 comes through and actually finds the stock and the lead suddenly, just like that.
Oh, but this is so dangerous right now. Both of them are at sitting pretty high percent, constantly changing position of who's actually off stage. This could be death, but Charles ran in, made sure just to tank that hit for Quidd, saying, hey, you flare blitz, you committed. It's okay because at the end of the day, I got you.
Be careful of that C4 placed directly under the left-hand corner of that platform. You might find yourself losing track of it, dying to it. But no, he is going to be able to get the charge shot out to take out the stock. C4 comes through though, and this is very, very doable for either team right now.
Excellent conversion there from Charles. Not going to be getting the kill, of course. This is still anybody's set to take, just going through the full screen charge shots, and you know what? Eventually one of them might connect, but you can't get caught lacking like that. At that time, I don't even think you could shield.
It's almost a foregone conclusion at this point. Mike just stalling off stage as they make their way back.
Bump.
You can't re-grab against Charizard as the F-tilt is going to come through. And that is going to be game number 2, evening it right back up at 1 apiece.
Basically all out of options. comparatively, from like this game to the last game, I feel like Quidd and Charles were definitely getting a couple more hits off of each other. They were able to slow down the game at some really important moments. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. You're getting ledge trapped.
You were stuck.
Yeah. Quidd, I feel like, is also one of the most effective ledge trappers with
his
with
reaction
Pokemon
time
Trainer
is
right now.
crazy. He can react to ledge options faster than almost any other player I've seen. He's so good at that. And we saw a little taste of it there, and you might see a little bit more of it in singles tomorrow. I promise you will.
So what went wrong for IcyMist and PsychoMyko this game? Honestly, I feel like they had the right idea, but at the end of the day, some of Samus's buttons are so laggy. Samus does not really have buttons like that. If you're charging Charge Shot, you can't immediately shield, right? Because there's going to be a little bit of latency. When Quidd jumped up there and PsychoMyko like tried to shield in time, or I believe it was IcyMist, like you just straight up couldn't, because even if you react, you have a little bit of extra startup. Since it does cancel, it doesn't perfectly cancel.
Yeah, Battlefield a little bit of an interesting choice for the double Samuses here, but I do see exactly why. And it's on the wrong character, but that's why they chose Battlefield. They want those ladder combos coming through with Samus.
Yep, but you gotta be careful because Squirtle has Water Gun on deck, and Quidd exhibited time and time again in the past how he can use that to his advantage and call you out for doing options that are a little bit greedy.
Yeah, Quidd will absolutely instantaneously punish you if you go for those pseudo high recoveries. He is going to be able to pop themselves back to stage with the C4. Mikey tries to go for the high up air, cover it, ends up popped up by the grenade and not going to be able to find the stock quite yet. That was a really good recovery by Charles.
We're just backing off a little tiny bit. The side B confirmed into the C4?
I guess so. That was interesting. Tries to find the C4 again. Good get-up timing by IcyMist to get around it, though.
Just taking his sweet old time. Charles not going to be getting off of the platform quite yet. Just waiting for his teammates just to come in and be able to assist him. But now both of them are being juggled, being knocked off stage into such nasty positions.
Oh, and really great chase with the neutral B to be able to find that KO. Is going to be able to get the kill there. Brings us back to even stocks, and now it's really going to come down to who dies first, IcyMist or Quidd. IcyMist going to chase high, catches the air dodge, but doesn't actually follow it up with anything.
We're just taking a second to play back a little bit. Quidd maybe getting caught on like the startup of his dash or something, but either way, IcyMist and PsychoMyko clawing their way back on and making this an even game.
And something that I do have to point out, because I forgot until just now, we're back in best of 3 territory, so this is the final game of the set.
That is a good point. I totally thought we had like a whole like best of 5 ahead of us.
So did I.
That's a lot of pressure. That's, you know, this is do or die right now. You either win this or you just knocked out of bracket completely.
Ooh, looks for the fair, but still doesn't find it. PsychoMyko and IcyMist are doing a really, really good job of controlling space in these situations. They want to stop them from getting these setups, especially with the C4. But now that Tequila has found his footing, he's going to be looking for it, and Mike just barely avoids the worst-case scenario.
IcyMist has just not been able to land. As soon as they were separated, Quidd was just able to execute his gameplay to the best of his ability. He put on so much damage, and now as a result, their lead is quite substantial.
Whew. Almost getting caught by that, and that was great follow-up by Charles. Recognized that IcyMist would have to air dodge to avoid the flare blitz, and covered the landing of the air dodge with the up tilt. Great follow-up and great KO.
Oh, just being so patient, trying to find the back air there. Not going to be able to get it. IcyMist almost stealing that stock. I love the attempt.
I'm so confused by what happened there. So everything, like all the hitboxes came out at once, and none of Quidd's team members managed to get knocked back because Quidd got the grab armor, but Quidd is also going to get caught by the high up air and die quite early off of that.
I did not expect IcyMist and PsychoMyko to have the stock lead right now, although PsychoMyko is just hanging on by the, like, they're barely hanging on. I don't know how else to say this.
By a thread, by the skin of their teeth, by the seat of their pants. Just barely holding on.
And just taking a second to play back. Quidd is just rushing in there, wants this kill, and Squirtle back throw just immediately going to be exploding them. And now,
I think any throw would have killed except maybe down throw at that point.
Who knows? Maybe even down throw would have killed if it felt like it that day.
It is Battlefield, and they were at 196, so anything's possible. It is even stocks right now. It's really going to come down to if Icy can take the stock, and she does just that. We now find ourselves in a 2v1, and now it's a 1v1. It's all on to Quidd, and he might be able to clutch this up, send them further into top 8, and knock out the double Samus.
PsychoMyko is just trying to space out a back hill, ended up just hitting their own teammate, and now you're stuck in a 1v1 against Quidd in this matchup. This is maybe the worst case scenario for you possibly, because Quidd is piling on this damage, keeping them in the corner, and covering every single option on reaction. Throws out a side B. Oh, you rolled in. I can still get another back hit.
And gets the hitbox extension off of the fair into the follow-up to close it out, and that is exactly what you said. Being stuck in a 1v1 against Quidd, terrifying.
You saw Quidd's advantage. He was able to effectively call out and punish every single option. Sat there, dashed back, dashed up and shielded. I mean, he's just amazing.
Once Quidd was no longer worried about IcyMist coming in and interrupting their combos, he didn't get hit. Like, through that entire 1v1, Quidd didn't get hit. Like, that's insane.
He was just able to effectively put PsychoMyko into the corner and say, hey, it's my turn to play. Was able to throw out a bunch of neutralers, but specifically what makes Quidd into the player that he is